Hello everyone, this is ACHAIA Akaya, and we are in game number 5, the ace match to decide who's going to move on to the finals between the teams Buki and Alexbot here, facing off against FabIntegral and his ally Darrenc, and we're playing on the map Tempest, which is an 8-player map. It is designed for 2v2, but it actually supports 8 players on this map, and as you can see, they are spawning in cross positions, so possibly going to see a little bit more economically minded game this time around. We'll see exactly what they decide to do, but anyways, just wanted to mention real quick once again, thank you to our sponsor Shock Strategy Guide. They're the ones that made this tournament possible, and definitely check out his site if you are looking for a resource to learn a little bit more about StarCraft 2. His guide is great for new players and middle level players looking to increase their skill potential as far as learning new strategies, build orders, things like that. So definitely check that out. I'm going to have the link in the description. And but yeah, we're going to move into this game right now, this 2v2, as I mentioned, the tiebreaker to see who's going to move into the finals. And of course, casting this game with me is 13. And 13, we are once again at a point here where we have some very, very tense games. We've casted a lot of tense games in the past, but this game, of course, is on our own tournament being hosted by us. How does it feel to have a tournament where we've got high-level play of this caliber and people are just duking it out?
Well, it's been a blast, Akai. I really enjoy it. You know, we're just taking a lot of our free time this weekend to do this, but I really don't mind at all. It's been great. You know, it's really been a lot of it's just been because of Shock Strategy guys sponsoring us. You know, giving us a prize pool. Because of that, we were able to attract a lot of really high-level players, and I'm looking forward to doing it again, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to drop a little hint out there, we're actually possibly talking about working with some people to put together an invitational 1v1 tournament with some very high-level players for that as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. That is still very, very early in the works, and it's going to be a long time before anything is announced on that. So, but I did just want to mention that real quick. We definitely enjoy putting these tournaments on and investing our own time and money. And like I said, Shocks is sponsoring this tournament, but he is only sponsoring the prize pool. 13 and I are not getting paid anything to put this tournament together. We are doing this of our own free will and just basically because we wanted to create a fun community event to get everybody involved. And as we mentioned in some of the threads for the tournament, there hasn't been a whole lot of, if any, I don't recall seeing any myself, but I'm not going to say there's none out there because I'm sure there's one on some obscure site. But we haven't really seen any 2v2 tournaments just because obviously it's a little bit less competitive and serious than 1v1 is because you're relying on somebody playing with somebody else. But we did want to do a 2v2 tournament, get a little bit of a different feel out there for a tournament. And of course, some of the people that strictly like to play more of the 2v2 style games getting in. But although we have seen a lot of very high level 1v1 players such as Darrenc, as we mentioned, he is very high up in the in the 1v1 ladder. He was actually really high up on the top 200 list that Blizzard released for the US players in the 1v1. And I'm sorry, hold that thought. Alexbot actually putting up a proxy Stargate right now over at the 3 o'clock position, and he's actually hiding it just above the main here. As you can see, here's the main. He is hiding it just up at the top, putting up one Stargate there, so we actually may see some quick voiders. Oh my goodness, a second Stargate. So he is apparently going to commit to this Void Ray cheese pretty hard here, and at this point he only has one Zealot defending his base, so if they scout this out, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, that's one thing that we see a lot in this map, Tempest. You know, like you mentioned, it does have 4 different start positions. You're normally a little bit late scouting your opponent unless you find them on the first try, and because of that, we see a lot of, you know, I wouldn't really call it cheese, but just some interesting strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. And FabIntegral getting some scouting in on the front of Buki's base there, seeing all the Marines, and he is apparently assuming there's a Marine push, and I guess managing to walk right around the Zealot guarding his base. Apparently that was not at all a tight wall off. But anyways, it looks like, yeah, there was some lag there, but apparently we lost, who was it did we lose? We lost Alexbot, that's right. And Buki said he wants to continue after the drop, so he is continuing. Oh my goodness, a scan goes down, and they are going to spot this hidden tech. That is absolutely incredible. So great sense there to find that tech, and seeing the Void Rays coming out, and they are going to be able to counter this if they are able to get some tech up here relatively quickly. I do not see a lair yet, so there aren't going to be any Hydras, but possibly going to be getting some Spore Crawlers maybe. I don't know. I don't even see an Evolution Chamber down right now, so they might be in trouble here if they don't get some anti-air up here soon. A couple sentries out for Darrenc right now, but he does not have any Stalkers. So, and actually, whoa, here comes some Zerglings here going to scout this out even more so. and actually is going to just go to the main right now, and then possibly going to, I'm sorry, no, that must not have been a scan from them. It must have been a scan from Buki, just checking to see if there's any observers there, and they are just now seeing that Void Ray tech, and so these Void Rays are going to immediately move out. 3 Void Rays, and the Zerg player could be in a lot of trouble here, and they are just now getting that Evolution Chamber down, but here come the Void Rays, and meanwhile, FabIntegral sending some Speedlings out, going to try to put some pressure back on.
This is a bit of an all-in from Buki. You know, Alexbot has been dropped, he has disconnected, and he must think that those Void Rays are going to do enough damage to put him ahead.
Yeah, and he manages to take out the Stalkers, defending very handily. There is one Queen at this base still, but it is going to retreat immediately. And the Void Rays are now charged, and you can just see how quickly charged Void Rays can take down a hatchery, immediately taking down that hatchery, it seems like, and then going straight for the Spore Crawler there that's trying to defend.
Looks like they're going to feed Darrenc just so we can pump out as many Stalkers as possible. That's exactly what they need against these Void Rays.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the meantime, you can see there are also some Spore Colonies going down at the expansion for FabIntegral, and he did not take out his tech, so he still has his spawning pool, he still has his Evo chamber, and there are a lot of Stalkers coming out here for Darrenc right now, and going to try to take out this expansion for some reason, going straight for the hatchery.
Bad position for Alexbot, controlled by Buki.
And here come the Stalkers too, going to be able to clean that up. Oh my goodness, only 2 Void Rays, no, 1 Void Ray, getting away with only 14 HP here. And it looks like he is continuing to build more, even putting down another Stargate. But at this point, building those Void Rays, I think, is a little bit foolhardy, because that is not going to be able to take on all of the anti-air that they're going to have right now. And with the Stalkers and Speedlings out on the map, he really needs to start focusing on a main ground army so that he can defend against this counterattack that is inevitably coming.
Yeah, Alexbot definitely does not have the production capability at this point to do that. He only has 1 gateway. I think he just has a lot of money to spend. He needs to use it on something, so he's using it on Void Rays.
Yeah, absolutely. And here come the Zerglings here, going to start taking out the pylon. There are 5 pylons that were powering these Stargates, though. They were going to try to take out. They're trying to take out the Stargate now, rather than trying to get the pylons. Although apparently deciding they want to now try to take out the pylons, despite the fact that there are 4 more powering all these. And here comes another Void Ray here. Meanwhile, Protoss Darrenc is trying to move up in here and put some pressure on the front of the front of the base for Alexbot and Buki, but there are some Marines and Void Rays defending here right now, and these Void Rays are actually doing a pretty good job of helping these Marines out, although they are a little bit too far in front, and these Stalkers are going to focus fire them down without any problems. Buki is going to GG.
So, yeah, Kai, what do you think about that decision for Buki to continue to play a 1v2 there?
I can't say that I blame him. I would not have forfeited in his position, but I'm not sure why he didn't ask for a rematch, because no serious blows had been dealt to either player, and I don't see, he must have just been supremely confident that these hidden Void Rays were really going to be the answer to winning that game, and he did a tremendous amount of damage taking out the initial hatchery, but he did not get the Evo chamber, and he did not get this spawning pool, so he allowed FabIntegral to really stay in this game rather than taking out all of his tech. And then when he didn't switch out of the Void Rays after his opponent Darrenc started going for hard Void Ray counters, that really committed him to an all-in push with those Void Rays, which inevitably did not work because he didn't have enough to take on that many Stalkers.
Yeah, and at the same time, I really like FabIntegral and Darrenc's decision just to feed Darrenc as much minerals as FabIntegral had. He was able to get out just enough Stalkers to hold off that Void Ray rush, and that's probably really what turned the tide there.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a great counter there and really forcing Buki to stay on the defensive with the few Void Rays that he did have left. So, great game. It looks like Darrenc and FabIntegral are going to come back and take this semifinal matchup. They're going to be moving on to the finals right now to face off against their finals opponents, which we will find out here in just a little bit. We're going to move to that other semifinals matchup right now. GG.
GG.